What is up, Watch fam, and welcome to our second episode of Liquor Run.
What's up, Watch fam?
My dad. And in this series, we talk about wine. I mean, you know, we're always watches in value, but on Fridays, when I know you're going to go buy wine for the weekend, we're about wine.
We're about wine.
Right.
Before we do a wristwatch check, just want to say, you know, we talked about Italian wines last week.
Right.
And my heart is Italian, but my soul is Spanish.
So it's going to be a good episode.
So we're going to talk about Spanish wines.
Love it. So, quick wristwatch check. I'm wearing a vintage Waltham, which is available in our shop at theoharris.com. I love the orange seconds on it, right? I think that's super cool.
Cool, very cool.
Kind
watch.
of a slatish brown dial, right?
Yeah, it looks like a diving watch.
Yeah, it is, exactly.
Yeah.
And what do you have on?
I've got a 20-year-old Breitling Colt chronograph.
Yeah, and you bought that new.
I bought it new.
Yep.
Yeah, it's got a panda dial.
Yeah, the
And,
kind of blue subdial is really cool, right?
Yeah, and it's got a flyback function, which I didn't even realize till
well, I mean,
till
really,
recently.
no one's ever going to use it,
Yeah.
right? But it
No.
really is cool that that has the kind of functionality. That's, to me, big value in watches.
I haven't used it yet.
All right, so let's go into what we're drinking now.
So we're drinking a 2015 Albarino
Okay.
from the northwest corner of Spain, Galicia. Okay, and that area is known as Green Spain.
Okay.
It's very, very lush, a lot of rain. It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
The Mediterranean just crashes into that area. Those people were the original cod fishermen.
Yeah.
They were going out hundreds of miles.
So is this
And
a fish wine? I mean,
this is absolutely a
heavy fish
fish wine, and you'll see why.
what was the price on this wine?
So this wine set me back $11.99.
Set me back. Could you imagine? I mean, when you're dealing with $11.99, the fact that you can get such a respectable wine, a wine that not only gets props from, you know, non-wine people, but from someone who actually, you know, particularly him more so than I, appreciates wine, value prop.
Value prop indeed.
Heavy.
First of all, this one is 100% Albarino.
Okay.
You'll find this grape in Portugal because this area butts up against the northern reaches of Portugal.
Okay.
Grown totally different.
It's the same grape, but the
Same
interpretations
grape,
of it are totally different.
very different
That's pretty
interpretation.
interesting.
On the when you cross the Spanish border, it's a still wine, no effervescence. The wine is from the Rías Bajas section. If you're considering seafood, mussels, clams,
Right.
oysters, this is the
It's a
one
great
for you
wine.
guys.
So if I was doing happy hour with oysters and fresh clams, this is actually a good pick for it.
This is such a seafood wine. In Galicia, in the Rías Bajas region, they crush the clam, mussel, and oyster shells. They grind them and they put them into the soil to make the soil more acidic. So it translates into the
to
wine.
actually grow it.
Absolutely.
How cool is
Yeah.
that, right?
So very minerally.
Yep.
But let's stop
try it.
talking.
Yep,
Let's
All right, before we get into it, let's do color, right?
yeah, color. So look at the color on this wine. It's very pale yellow.
Yeah.
Okay. Almost green.
100%, which actually we'll get into on the taste as well, right? Okay, but
You'll see why. But just understand that this is a very cool climate, so these grapes never get very hot. Even it's just a touch of carbonation. If you see, you
there's
see,
a little bit
right?
of effervescence for sure.
So let's give this a little
Nose.
typical and classic to Albarino. This wine has a very citrus note. You smell lime. You smell lemon. You smell zest. You actually even smell a little bit of like underripe pineapple. You smell that, okay? But tropical fruit, 100%. Okay, let's try this.
Cheers.
Okay, salud.
Salud. It's really light. It's really
Wow.
nice. I like it a lot.
Delicious.
Yep.
Okay,
That's
so
a wine you can actually just drink and hang out. I'm sure it goes great with food as well. I still get into that. But to me, it's a really great wine for just hanging out, right? Just hanging out, having a glass of wine outside on a nice day.
Yeah.
It's refreshing. Unlike, you know, a heavier wine like a Chianti, whereas that's definitely more of a fall-y kind of thing. This, to me, is perfect for right now. Sitting outside in, you know, in this weather, it's awesome.
And once again, tropical fruit. It has a real distinct minerality.
That's really good.
Okay, which is nice, especially when you're having seafood, because you know raw seafood could be lush, right? This cuts right through it.
Yeah, it's sharp. But I also don't think when you're saying minerality, I don't think it tastes like dirt by any means. This is like soil.
So to me, it's just wet stones.
Okay, yeah, okay. I wouldn't have said that, but now that you're saying, you know, it makes sense.
Imagine walking through the street on a very hot day, okay, and a thunderstorm comes through, and you get that smell.
That's what you're getting.
That's exactly what's in this wine.
Okay, so we said if you're eating out, you could do raw bar, you're doing light fish, you're doing really delicious stuff, which when you're out is easy to get. So let's say if I'm gonna, buy fish at the supermarket, bring it home and grill it, which fish should I be buying to eat with this wine?
Yeah, I mean, you can do a nice branzino.
Yeah.
Okay, get yourself a good branzino, not very expensive. You can get it.
How do you know if it's fresh? By the eyes, right?
You look at the eyes, clear eyes.
Clear eyes, fresh, cloudy eyes.
Clear eyes, that's it, and look at the gills. Brown gills, no good. Now, the more that I think about this, for all you, aspiring chefs out there, or just folks that are foodies,
Loves to cook, yeah.
This wine would be great with a paella, with a seafood paella. Granted, paella comes from the other side of Spain, but the fact that if you're doing a seafood dish and you have this beautiful rice, this will go very, very well with a paella. Yep. So let's drink more. So, this wine, Albarino, okay, in Galicia, it reeks of the ocean. Okay. Yeah. Their culture is so closely intertwined. They're one.
They live off the water.
Off the water. And it actually reminds me of your watch. It's very apropos that you're wearing that watch.
Yeah, honestly, it was just because it looked good. But you're 100% right. It's dive.
It's diving.
It's a summer watch, which actually, even in price, although don't get me wrong, the watch isn't cheap. I wouldn't say it's proportionally cheap as the wine, but you're still talking about a summertime and versatile, even into October, or really whenever, at a relative low price. There's value in both the watch and the wine. Yeah, and that's, once again, tying in the whole series, why this is on TNH, to bring value. Okay, so we're really digging it, but remind me, what was the price on this?
So this wine I got for $11.99, okay? What makes this even more ridiculous is that this wine was rated a 91 by Robert Parker, okay?
So it's a bona fide,
so this is a bona fide,
solid wine.
recognized wine.
I even think that if it's at the beginning of the summer, or even now, depending on how much wine you drink, you could still buy a case of this and actually get use out of it. You'll polish it off.
You'll polish this off.
Now, even late August, I think you'll still be able to have enough time in the summer, warm months, to polish off a case.
Yeah, just keep in mind, the Spaniards, specifically the ones from Galicia, they're drinking this year-round. Okay. Now, for us, if you want seasons, this wine will serve you to Halloween. Okay. A lot of time here to drink this wine and to have seafood. If you want to sit outside, buy this.
So if you actually are going to buy a case of this wine, talk about discounts, value, what could you expect to negotiate with a liquor store? What would you save on buying a case as opposed to a bottle?
That's a great question, and the fact is that in many wine shops, if you're buying a case, they'll give you a 10 to 15% discount.
And if they don't, immediately should you request it?
You should absolutely request it.
You could be so bold.
You could be bold, and you can ask, and you can get a discount on a case of wine. Yep. But even if you didn't get a 20, a 15, or 10% discount at $11.99, it's a great buy. Yep. It's a great buy. If you serve it to your family or to your friends, you're serving them really good wine.
It's almost like a bragging thing.
Yeah,
it's that good.
Yeah.
We dropped the mic, so we have to hold it now. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Liquor Run.
Thank you, guys.
We really enjoyed it.
Boom, Watch fam.
Boom, Watch fam. Thank you guys once again.
Thank you.
Adios.